Hello, so this is video number 2 for New Year's Eve again. We don't get to go out and celebrate anything because Boston Harbor fireworks got canceled. The Copley Square celebration is still on, however, it's going to be jammed. And while we were going to go maybe anyway, because the MTBA is giving free train service and we could have caught a train and parked our car, it really is unfortunate that because of even in spite of that, my wife has to get off work at 9:30 tonight and be back at work at 5:30 tomorrow morning, which means we have to be up at 3:30 to make sure that we're awake and coffeeed up and so forth. Traffic might still be awful. I don't know. I'm guessing it's not going to be. From North Shore to Logan Airport, it can be awful. It's usually not bad on the hour she works. Anyway, so this week's video is, and this is from Making Bread. I said that in the last video. These videos are done back to back. So this comes up from a discussion under one of my videos. I won't tell you which one because I frankly don't remember. It is, and basically the whole concept of this video is, it is not unfair that guys usually need to ask girls out in the Western world, specifically the United States, and why folks that think otherwise need to cowboy up. Now here's what's going on. We'll just skip to the end and then come back. If I ask a girl out and things go really well and we sleep together, barring the use of birth control and it working, i.e. pill, IUD, condom, whatever, then she could get pregnant. She gets pregnant. She's two options: abortion or keep the kid. Keeping the kid means we both means she or adoption. Sorry, all of those suck. All of those cost money, and all of them are emotionally traumatic, and none of them absolutely require the father to be involved. So, therefore, women sort of have to suffer a little bit more for their efforts. Now, I'm not going to go into homosexual relationships. Why? I'm straight. I don't really have a lot of insight. Two guys, one's going to ask the other out. They're both guys. Two girls, one's going to ask the other out. They're both girls. Bisexual, well, when they're asking the other girl, it's a homosexual relationship. Asking same sex out, it's a homosexual relationship. Opposite sex, opposite sex. Anyway. And of course, I can't use my own marriage as an example because, as you've seen from previous videos, we didn't have a classic romance. It really was me coming up to a friend at a coffee shop and going, "You want to get the fuck out of here? I'm going to go watch a movie at home. You're welcome to crash on my couch." That was not me asking a girl out. I was literally tired and done, and she looked like she didn't want to be where she was, but she didn't want to go home. I can't tell you how I picked that up. I don't know. She calls it my most lucky attempt at being right reading people. And she's right. Anyway, so why is it more, it doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter the whys, honestly, because it comes down to what you want. Is it unfair that jobs don't call you out of the blue and you have to go apply to them? Surely you should just be able to put your resume in a pool and then never have to actually ask people. They should just offer you the job. You shouldn't have to go and try to interview and do applications. Why? Surely you should do this. Why do I have to go to the restaurant? Why can't everyone just deliver to me? You see, you want it. You have to go get it. And I've told this to women too. Nobody asked me out. Well, why don't you ask guys out? It's their job to ask me out. Well, then you must not want to date bad enough. Because I'm pretty sure last week you saw a guy mention he was hot and didn't go up to him. You just sort of stood there and hoped he noticed. Or you could have walked your pretty ass up there and flipped your hair and done the whole thing that girls do and said, "Hey, you look kind of cute. You want to go sit down for a second?" You could have done that. Now, yes, more often than not, women are asked out by men than men are asked out by women. In fact, in the whole of my life, I have known a few men who did not need to ask girls out. And I have seen one who, any bar he went to, if there were pretty women, they'd start leaving him numbers. I lost a bet because of that, because he bet me he could. I didn't believe him. He won. Jared, if you're watching this, dude, it's been most of 15 years and I still remember. Um, so, yeah, uh, asking girls out. You may not like it. It may be uncomfortable. Tough shit. Just tough fucking shit. You know what? I don't like driving in Boston traffic. Guess what? I still cowboy up every day. It caused me anxiety attacks for the first 2 months, and I'm a professional courier with near 500,000 miles under my belt. And driving in traffic in Boston drove my ass nuts. Still did it because I wanted my wife to get to work. We needed to get shit done. So if you want something, if you want a date, this is something you want. If you want food, you go to the store. If you want a date, you ask a girl out. Well, I'm not that manly. It's not my fault. Yes, it is. Well, it may not be your fault that you were born differently or you have a different mindset or whatever, but it's your responsibility. I have asthma. Okay? I did not cause it. I was born with it. It's still my job to deal with it. You're born with Asperger's syndrome? Guess what? You got to buck up and deal with it. That head trauma that I got, that I talked about 3 years ago, that I still have 2 years in recovery for, that has cost me innumerable amount of things that I'm still not comfortable with divulging on this series, that I have lost so much. Well, not my fault. In fact, I can tell you that OSHA and I agreed it was not my fault, and somebody else paid. But who's the one that has to buck up and do something about the brain damage and look out for the mood shifts and do all of that? That's right. My wife can help, and she does. And my wife can do a lot of work, and she does. But that's her choice. But I'm the one that is ultimately going to have to live with the results. I didn't ask the brain damage. Still my responsibility to do something about it. And the same when it comes to dating. If, God forbid, we ever got a divorce, I'm not great at dating. I'm great at getting, I'm not very good at getting laid either. But I'm okay. I do all right. And as I've mentioned, I had multiple one-night stands. I had a few women who were interested in me. But the truth was, I went after women I knew were easy lays. I knew, not that they were particularly slutty, but they were. And sorry, I gotta admit, I went after easy prey. And you know what? You watch any nature documentary, what do hunters do? They go after easy prey because they know it can work. Should I have gone after harder? Should I have gone after women that were harder? Yes. Would I have gotten a relationship sooner than 26? Probably. Am I ashamed for my behavior? A little bit. But did it work? Yes. And my first girlfriend, I asked her out. I fucking got up the courage. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I faced down people trying to harm me easier than asking her out. And I don't know if Angie's watching to this day, but I mean, we only lasted like under a year, but learned a lot, sadly, unfortunately, at her expense. And sorry, and you're awesome. So, Angie's awesome. I think she broke up with me. It was the right move, as I've said. I didn't think so at the time. It's been 11 years, 10 years. And yeah. So anyway, moving on. God, her daughter's in high school now. Oof. And I asked her out. I asked out my next 2 girlfriends. And I've only ever had 4, including my wife. And I'm 37 years old, and I've only been married 2 years. But I did it. I asked all of them out. Do I wish the girls had asked me out? Absolutely. Do I understand that? Did I resent a little bit that being the way of things? Yes, but it is the way of things. It is not unfair because that presumes that life is fair. In the words of the Dread Pirate Roberts, life isn't fair. Anyone who tells you differently life is pain. Anyone that tells you differently is selling something. And part of pain is unfairness. You could literally paraphrase that and say, life is inherently unfair. Anyone who tells you differently is selling something. So remember, If you want a date, that's something you want. You have to go get it. Just as you would for anything in life. Anything at all. You might get rejected. So what? You know what? You want to go to college. You apply to 5 colleges. You get accepted to 1. Still means you got rejected from 4. But did you get to go to college? Yes. You ask 5 girls out. 4 say no. Okay, no big deal. 1 said yes. Have a great time. Go out. Who knows? You might hit it off. You might get married. Maybe you don't. That's okay. I've Jared, the one I mentioned, roving male slut that he is, even though as awesome as a person he is, I think he slept with 130 women, and he had something like 20 girlfriends before he finally got tired of his roving ways and settled down with someone that makes him happy, who hates my guts, but makes Jared happy, so no big deal. Um, yes, I know plenty of people I know. Um, just just have to try over and over and over, and that's okay. But if you go, it's so unfair. Woe is me. Woe. You're a crybaby, and you're a jerk because you somehow think that it should be otherwise, and that you're being cheated. What an ego trip. What a complete ego trip. Get out there and don't be afraid to fail. It hurts. It sucks. It's life. Life is pain. There, I managed to tie it together. Life is pain. Anyone who tells you different is selling something.